Welcome back to Top 5 Wednesday. This week's topic is...
Top 5 authors that we really want to meet. And this might be a two-parter list, so stay tuned. The first 5 authors that we decided that we wanted to meet, and we came up with this list wicked fast. It takes us like hours to come up with lists. We came up with this list in no time at all. So, first author on our list, we have Jonathan L. Howard.
All I can say is that guy made Cabal, and Cabal is one of my favorite literary characters of all times. Like, the most recent Cabal book comes out in, I think, a week and a half, and I'm like...
She's plastered to the wall.
This guy has such a dry sense of humor that I just love it. Like...
I've only read one, and I really enjoy it. But what I've read more of, apparently, is his tweets, which I enjoy the crap out of every time one comes up. Because they're pretty much in the same style he writes his books, but they're just so funny. Like, the tweet I found out today was like, he was like, oh, should have probably mentioned that, yeah, the Cabal book is out. Sorry. Like, it was just so funny, and so I enjoy his tweets.
And I like that he can write in many different styles. Like, each one of the Cabal books is like, the first one is kind of Faustian, the second one is kind of like an old school Victorian, like, armchair mystery. The third book is like H.P. Lovecraft. I don't know what's going to be the fourth Cabal book. And then he has his other series, which I still haven't read, but it's kind of like, I think, steampunky. So like,
definitely want to meet him.
He is definitely one of those authors that I will read anything that he puts out.
Next on our list, we have Maggie Stiefvater.
Oh boy. We had never heard of this woman.
Until we went to Bia.
And, like, I can vaguely remember my chapters days shelving her books. And I vaguely remember shelving them in bargain. And 5 years later, I'm now kicking myself.
I've really only read one series from her. That is The Raven Boys. And, oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. It's just stream of consciousness without the annoying, I have zero idea what's going on stream of consciousness. It's very kind of open and vague, but descriptive, and the characters are interesting, and the emotions are very raw, and I just love it, and I would love to ask her questions about these books, and just have a long conversation with her. And
she has a great sense of humor.
Yeah, I think so. Just listening to her talk at Bia, it was just so much fun.
It was just like, I've never heard of you, but I'm now your fan.
So, definitely an author we would love to talk to.
And she will be at the Toronto
Toronto International Book Fair.
It's so exciting.
So, yay!
Next on our list is Garth Nix, aka the man that introduced me to necromancy.
Oh dear, that's a big claim to fame.
We read his Abhorsen trilogy, now considered, I guess, a quartet, when we were in high school. And, like, we burned through these books.
She gave them to me, and I remember just, like, I had to actually go out and get the second two because I couldn't talk to her for a few days. And I wasn't going to get the next one, and I needed the next one.
I read the first one for a book report. It was just, like, I was at the high school library, and I'm just like, what? This is okay. And I finished it, and I was like, oh, you know, that was really, really good. And then 2 months later, Christmas break, I was in a bookstore with my mom, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to buy that book that I read. And I walked into the shelves and I looked and I realized, there are 2 more. There are 2 more.
He's written other stuff. The one I'm thinking of is, I don't remember.
The Keys to the Kingdom, which also has, like, this really, like, close place to my heart.
I still haven't finished the last one.
I have all of them.
Oh, you need to give them to me.
These books I started when I was in, like, grade 6. Something like that, and the last one came out my last year of university, and I was like...
They're so good. They're kind of... I don't even have time to explain to you how good they are and what's going on, but read them. You will enjoy them.
Garth Nix, dark fantasy, necromancy.
Alright, we also have up on our list Libba Bray, and we have been literally reading Libba Bray since we were in high school. Surprise, surprise. But she has put out some stuff I never would have expected from her. And now I'm very sorry that I never expected this from her, because they are just so good, so amazing, so different from anything she had written when I was in high school.
The first thing that she wrote that we read was the Great and Terrible Beauty, like, trilogy, and it was like period, fiction, fantasy, finishing school. Absolutely adored it. And then, like, I'm in a bookstore, and it's just like this book, Going Bovine by Libba Bray.
And it's just like this
postmodern.
postmodern.
I loved it.
It's this postmodern, just, I want to call it a shit show, but
yeah, basically. There's like a Swedish like band, and a happy cult, and a gnome, and a Valkyrie,
and snow globes everywhere, and you're just, it's so
strawberry
good.
smoothies. So, and then she topped, like, it's like, how do you top that? Well, beauty queens.
And then that's just another postmodern, like, satirical, just fun, crazy town.
Kind of like a cross between The Lord of the Flies, Lost, and
just beauty pageants. And then, how do you top that? The Diviners.
Let's go back to period fiction, but this time we're the 1920s.
So just it's been a ride.
Oh, yeah.
A ride that's lasted years, and I can't get enough of it, and I would love to have a conversation with Libba Bray. Woohoo!
She was at BookCon when we were at BookCon. We just were not in the right place at the right time, sadly, but
we will be next time.
Hopefully.
The last author on our list is Chris Whitting, and we have been devouring his books since high school. Big surprise. Basically, the first book we ever read from Chris Whitting was Poison. And Poison was a ride and a half because it was so different from anything else that I had picked up when I was starting off reading.
It was my first, like, really hardcore dark fantasy book that made me really uncomfortable. And it kind of developed that weird taste for, like, dark fantasy books. And that's probably what ended up leading me to, like, Garth Nix, Jonathan L. Howard, Lev Grossman, just that long train of...
And the cover. The cover is so off-putting. I don't know how I managed to pick it up because the face on the cover is creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Poison. But then you pick it up and you read it and it's dark and there's no love interest, which was wonderful. I had never encountered a book that had no love interest at that point.
It was just like, in the world, you don't want to live in that world because everything's going to eat you.
It's just bad.
And I think it was also my first book with, like, terrifying fairies.
Yeah.
So, like, it was a lot of firsts. And then we also read his other book, The Haunting of Elizabeth Cray, which was just another, like, nope.
Oh my god, I still am so creeped out by that book. I have only read it once, but I have memories of just never looking over my shoulder in the dark.
The Scarecrow.
And so I don't know if I so much want to talk to him as just thank him for, like, kind of opening up my reading world.
And terrifying you.
Yeah. So that is our top 5 list. Are there any authors whose books have just kind of completely blown your world and you've never gone back and you'd love to thank them for it? That's my question.
Tell us about that in comments. Or if you have met an author, like your favorite author, tell us about how that went. Everyone's heard my story, so...
Alright, bye guys.
See you guys.